All right. Let's mute myself for a bit. Alright, let's get started. Ooh, mic's really loud tonight. Let me turn it down a little bit. Let me know if there's anything. Might have to turn on my desktop audio since I have the game audio muted, but it is pretty loud. Anyhow, welcome. Welcome to my stream. Hi, my name is Eris Lockhart, and I am going to be streaming the Lazulight By Your Side fan visual novel. I understand the full version comes out in June 17th, I think. So this is just going to be playing a demo. But I was kind of curious, and Lazulight was a really big inspiration for why I got into VTubing. So I wanted to see how it works. All right. So let's begin. Okay, any interesting preferences? Nah. What? Oh. Okay. There we go. There we go. Alright, let's start this. I remember the feeling. The unrelenting heat of the sun. The thundering roar of voices. The resonant beat of my own heart. The feeling of rushing forward. The nervousness. The determination. All of it so I could see that view. Oh, whoops. Boundless sky with the sun at the center of it all. Felt like I was flying, like the clouds were my second home. It was exhilarating, and it was a feeling I'll never forget. That is, until I couldn't anymore. Oops. Just like that, everything started to fall apart. My wings were taken that day. My precious place in the sky, gone like the wind. I quit doing all the things I truly enjoyed doing. The joy, the fun, the excitement, all drowned in my sorrows until my life has become what it is now. A bland mixture of monotony and stillness. I wake up with cold sweat dripping from my face. It's the same dream again. Outside the sun is yet to be seen. It's a bit earlier than the time I planned to wake up, but I know I can't fall back asleep even if... Oh shit, I completely forgot to turn the desktop audio back on. You haven't been missing much. Yeah. Whoops. It's a bit earlier than the time I planned to wake up, but I know I can't fall back asleep even if I wanted to. A lot of things started to pile up in my mind. Feels like those thoughts would come crashing down at any minute. I have to get away, somewhere, anywhere but here. Without even bothering to change clothes, I grab my jacket and make my way outside. Oops. Soon I found myself at the park, wandering aimlessly with no idea how much time had passed. Even though I try to keep my thoughts away from the dream, I end up thinking about it more and more. The feelings become overwhelming, and the pain in my arm starts to surface. The feelings become overwhelming. Oh, as if knocking on my mind's door, banging and thrashing and forcing itself in. Okay. Before I know it, I'm covered in cold sweat and my heart is beating so fast, it feels like my chest is about to explode. Lazulight is going to be showing up soon, right? It's pretty tense. I thought it was just going to be like a fun day with like Pomo, Lira, and Finana. But suddenly... Yes! Oh, here we are. I actually don't know who this is. I'm gonna assume this is Pomo, but I don't know. Get back here. There we go! I turn to the source of commotion and see a blonde girl with a large ribbon chasing down her... cat? But somehow it looks more like she's out for blood than actually trying to catch it. As the scene in front of me unfolds, I find myself pulled away from my thoughts and instead taking interest in the somewhat silly chase. They keep going round and round, going in circles around posts, benches, even through the shrubs. It's quite the sight. But I guess entertainment is never for free. Soon enough, the cat locks eyes with me and begins barreling straight towards me, ready to smash into me like a bull with a matador in his sights. Let's see, can I do a Pomu voice? Alright, let's see. I'm Pomu! I guess that's good enough. Hey, you! Catch him! In sort of a daze, I grab at the cat with both hands and lift it up as it's thrashing about. Thankfully, it doesn't try to scratch me, otherwise I'd be bleeding all over my hands. Huh! Thanks for helping me catch him. She gives a bright smile as her cat squirms in her grip. Even after all that running and screaming, she seems fine and not out of breath at all. Does she do this sort of thing every day? I'm Pomu, by the way. Oh, I'm Eris. Nice to meet you. And this silly cat is Pomuske. I really have no idea how he managed to break his leash. It seems like he's quite the troublemaker. Oh, that was my line. Oh, he is. Quite the little goblin. I take my eyes off him, and he does the stupidest things. I can't help but smile as I watch her play with the cat. It feels refreshing and almost lets me forget my troubles. Almost. She glances at me, and a wrinkle of worry forms on her face. You seem to be sweating a lot. Are you okay? Oh, I'm fine. Just a bit tired from trying to catch Pomuske. Yeah. Though I try to push it off, my strained breathing and tired look is all too clear. Well, you certainly seem exhausted. Here, you should keep yourself hydrated. She hands me a bottle of water, and though reluctant, I decide to take it and thank her. I should go. I still need to take this little goblin back home. Sure, and thanks again for the water. Speaking of which... And with that, she finally leaves. The further she walks away, the smaller her figure gets, and I finally take notice of her clothes. She was wearing my school's uniform. School, huh? Guess it's time I get ready for school, too. At school. Attention, everyone, the teacher is here. Oh. I didn't expect it to be Oliver, but I shouldn't be surprised. Alright. Good morning, class. Good morning, Professor Oliver. Before we start the lesson, I want to discuss things regarding club applications. As you all know, our school is focused on clubs and their development, which means all students are required to at least join one club. I'm sure you're all aware that tomorrow is the final day to hand in your club applications. However, there are still some of you who have not decided which club to join, so I'm here to remind you about this. I hope you can all decide by today. Now that I've reminded you, let us proceed to our lessons. Today's topic is about the club. Huh. Do I really have to? Classes pass by like a blur. Whether I'm listening or not, it really didn't matter. Before I know it, it's already lunchtime. I brought lunch with me today, although I don't really feel like eating here in the classroom. Guess I'll go somewhere quieter. Well, who knows? Excuse me, Eris, can I talk to you for a moment? Oh, duh, of course she would be the class president. Duh. I'm surprised for a bit, but I soon find myself staring at her eyes, or, well, her eye. I've always been curious why she hid her other eye behind her hair, but then again, I'm not one to pry. What is it, class president? Elira. Call me... This guy, I don't know, let's see. Love at first sight. Elira. Call me Elira. Being called class president feels weird. But you are the class president. I know. It's just. Okay. Okay then, Alira. So, did you need something? Oh, right. I just want to discuss with you about the club applications. I need to collect those soon, and I see you're one of the few people who still haven't filled anything out yet. Are you having any problems? I, I haven't decided yet. I know it's quite soon, but the professor needs forms by tomorrow. So, but don't worry, you still have the rest of the day to decide. I can wait until after class to collect yours. Yeah, thanks. Alright. She gives me one last worried look before leaving. I really don't want to think about these things right now. Soon I find myself walking out of the classroom. Do I really have to? Do I really have to deal with such expectations again? Why? My legs move on their own, trying to find a way out of this as if I was escaping a maze, leading me to somewhere where I could have peace and quiet. In the end, I find myself headed to the roof. Perhaps there I'll be able to eat lunch in peace and gather my thoughts. As I open the door, the fresh breeze hits me. I look around and see nobody in sight. It's quiet. The only sounds I can hear are the wind and the birds. Finally, a place with no one in it. I shout an exclamation, letting the feelings that are pent up inside me. I just don't want to deal with people anymore. But now I am finally alone and able to ignore everything else. Or so I thought. Out of the corner of my eye, I notice someone sitting atop the stairwell entrance. I turn around and lock eyes with the green-haired girl as she eats her lunch with a silent gaze. Though I'm surprised at finding someone sitting at such a place, I'm more concerned about what she just said out loud not too long ago. I'm more concerned about what I just said out loud not too long ago. She definitely must have heard it. After what feels like an eternity of awkward staring, she finally breaks the silence. I'm sorry for being in your way. What was that accent? I know Finana's the kind of the hardest one because I know she has a really high pitched voice. I'm sorry for being in your way. I'll leave. That made me feel bad. Here I was barging in and shouting my thoughts without a care, and now I've not only disturbed this girl's lunch, but even made her feel bad about her feeling here first. No. I'm the one who should be apologizing. I didn't think anyone was here. Sorry. That was rude of me. Hey, Kesa! How you doing? And I'm just spending some time with the girls from Lazulight. I should have joked that it was a collab, but that's a little gauching for me, and also, I'm sure someone probably already made that joke. Anyway. Wait! Yes? She tried to say something, but she only looked away in embarrassment. I'm confused. Doesn't she have the same plan as me to eat alone and not be disturbed? Stay in silence. I watch as she steals a glance at me and my lunch. Seems like she's trying to keep a cool appearance, but the longer it goes on, the more awkward it becomes. I let out a sigh. Perhaps it's sympathy I feel, maybe even empathy. Whatever it is, in the end I chose the option I never thought to do. Hey, so there wouldn't be much time left for lunch if I had to look for another place to eat. So, would you mind if I ate with you here? I won't give you trouble, promise. The question takes her by surprise. Although she doesn't say anything, her expression is a mixture of bewilderment, confusion, and a hint of appreciation. Oh no! Ugh. That sucks. I hope you have a mild case, a mild case of it, of the panini. I don't know if you're still allowed to not say that word on Twitch. That sucks, Kesa. Did I make the right decision? The silence stretches on to the point that I thought of just leaving. She gives me a small nod and I breathe a sigh of relief. Cool, give me a minute to get up there. I don't know why it never occurred to me that I could just eat in another spot. But there I was halfway up the ladder trying to sit beside her, which probably would have made her even more nervous. Then I noticed the lack of fences or safety nets in the area and my arms start to buckle. You know what? I think I'll just stay down here. I mean, it's just, I feel like it's a bit dangerous up there. I'll come down if it's better for you. That would be better. Yes. Thanks. Haha. The whole point was that I was trying to make it up to her, but here I am making her have to compromise for me. What am I even doing? She makes her way down, and we find a spot to sit and eat. Though we sit together side by side, there is nothing but awkward silence between us. I manage to distract myself from the weird atmosphere by concentrating on eating my food, but at that point I'm not sure what I'm doing anymore. So what brings you here? On the rooftop. Surprised she's the one to break the ice, considering this probably isn't what she had planned for lunch. Nothing much, really. I just wanted to go to the place where I could think. Okay, I thought Roman was gonna say, "Goodness, go to the place where I belong." Is this get really like trying to like dramatize the lyrics of Diamond City Lights? I wonder. That makes her flinch. Perhaps that wasn't the best choice of words to use. No, I didn't mean you were disturbing. You're not, you know. Ugh. Let me try this again. Hi, I'm Eris, and I was looking for a quiet place to hang out for lunch. I didn't mean to disturb you here. Honest. Nor are you disturbing me, just to put it out there. That seemed to make her relax. My name's Finana. And don't worry, you're not disturbing either. She lets out a chuckle. Well, that's good to hear. It's nice to meet you. We end up making small talk as we get to know each other just a little bit. To my surprise, she's actually from the same class as me. I never really noticed her. Perhaps my attention was always just elsewhere. That's how it's always been with me. Anyway, I lose sight of what doesn't concern me. Before we realize it, lunch is almost over. I think I'll go on ahead. I'd like to get to class before the halls get crowded. Yeah, that's a good idea. I think I'll take a detour to the bathroom before I go back. Okay. And, thanks for hanging out with me. Oh, it was my pleasure. Rather, I'm sorry about the whole barging in thing. That's all right, lets out a chuckle. I had fun. Thanks. Yeah, me too. With a wave and a goodbye, we go our separate ways with smiles on our faces. Returning to the hallway after my little detour, mobs of students fill the halls as they return to our rooms. I wait for the crowd to start to clear before I proceed, only to accidentally bump into someone going in the opposite direction. Oh, my bad. I didn't see you there. In front of me is a familiar shade of blonde that belongs to a certain cat owner. I'm fine. It's fine. I wasn't really Oh, it's you from this morning. Hi, we meet again. I didn't realize you went to this school as well. Thanks again for helping me out with Pamuske. No worries. It was sort of spur of the moment. True. Wait, if you're here, that means you're in the same class as me. I can't believe I never noticed. Small world indeed. Oh no, that's the bell. I gotta get to class. If we're gonna keep meeting, we gotta stop doing it when I don't have any time. Haha. Once again, she zooms away. What an interesting coincidence that she is indeed my classmate as well. Yet again, something that I failed to notice. I'd like that class just passes by like a breeze. Just like a breeze. The noise of the crowds of students preparing to go home fills the air. Some have plans, some just want to go straight home, and some decide to stay back. I'm one of the latter. For the others, staying back is for responsible reasons like their clubs. For me, I just don't feel like going home yet, nor anywhere else for the matter. I just want to walk around school with nothing but my thoughts to guide me. Soon I found myself standing on the outskirts of the track and field. The place is filled with students training hard in multiple physical exercises, determined to prove they could be the best. Seeing it all makes my chest grow tighter. I shouldn't be here watching. I shouldn't stay. Yet it feels as though my legs knew where to take me here and lock themselves in place. My attention is caught by the blow of the whistle. Before I know it, my eyes are trained to that yellow blur as it runs past. The same shade of blue that I had met this morning is speeding through the track. The look in her eyes is nothing but determination, ready to break through with a new record. And yet, it isn't enough. Even though the run ends in disappointment, the fire of determination never leaves her eyes. She's ready to try again, and again, and again, and again. It hurts to watch her, not because of how many times she has failed, because how many times she chooses to keep going. It stirs the old wound inside me, and afraid seeing any more would make it surface again. Thus, it's time to leave. Before I can walk away, a familiar voice calls out to me. Wait! Wait! Wait, Eris! I turn around and find our class president huffing as she jogs towards me, her hands waving back and forth as if signaling me not to move an inch from where I am. Do you need something, Prez? I told you to call me Elira. She takes a moment to catch her breath as she stops in front of me. Calling me Prez doesn't make me any less uncomfortable. Right, sorry. Anyway, I need you to come back with me to the classroom. I have some important stuff I need to discuss with you. Can't you just tell me here? No, someone else will be joining me in the discussion, and they're waiting for us there. Seeing as how Elira went out of her way to look for me, I assume it's about club applications, although I wish it was something else. Either way, I don't really have a choice, so I reluctantly follow Elira back to the classroom. Oops, didn't realize that would work. Inside, Elira stands behind the desk as she fixes the papers in hand. She wants to discuss club applications, specifically my lack thereof. Must have slipped my mind, or maybe I subconsciously tried to forget it. It's a bit troubling for me, but what I didn't expect most was that the supposed person involved was none other than the girl I had lunch with on the rooftop, Finana. What a coincidence. She sits beside me, her hands shaking as she grips her skirt. She looks even more nervous than before. To somewhat diffuse the tension, I decide to say hi. Hi, we meet again. She turns to me and nods without making much of a sound. Guess it's still awkward between us, but that's understandable. We only just met today, after all. Yet when I look at her, she gives me a cute smile. Perhaps not as awkward as I thought. Alright, you two. So again, as I've mentioned before regarding your club applications, I was going to collect those today. I do hope you filled them up. And you did fill them up, right? Not exactly. Oh. And you, Finana? Finana could only shake her head. You know, you two can just join any club. Well, it's not preferred. You don't even have to be active in it. It's just as long as you're in one. That reminds me. I've looked at your past records, and it seems like you used to be part of the pole vaulting club. So why not? Her gaze is directed at me. Though I understand it isn't her intention, hearing those words causes strings of pain and slowly creep my arm. Pole vaulting club is a kind of, I feel kind of a weird choice to make for the source of trauma for this character, but whatever. I couldn't. Not yet. It still hurts. Even if it was just in name, I couldn't join again. The weight of being part of that, it's been too long. I don't want to return if I can't contribute anything. No. I can't. I won't. She looks at me worriedly. That was when I noticed the cold sweat forming around my face. I wipe my forehead and try to calm down. Yeah, sorry. I don't want to join that club. Feels like she somehow understands, or maybe I just give an aura finality as I speak. In case you're wondering why the dialogue box keeps blinking out, it's just because my finger, it goes away if you right click, and occasionally my finger just resting on the right click is enough to do a click, so does that. Lyra turns to Fanana and she asks the same kind of questions regarding her previous club or interest in any clubs. She shakes her head to all of them. I don't really feel like I belong anywhere. Lyra could only sigh. We certainly were more trouble than she expected. The loud noise of the door being opened catches our attention. Our eyes turn to look. There stands Pomu by the door frame, much to our surprise. Sorry, am I disturbing you? Kinda. Do you need something? Well, I was on the track doing some laps and I noticed Eris was watching. I figured I'd finish the lap and go say hi, but then you came by and dragged them away. So right after practice, I went looking for you, and now here we are. You were looking for us? Why? I just explained it. Because you wanted to go and say hi to me? Yes, that and because class president dragging away seemed pretty suspicious. Like real sus. So anyway, what are you all up to? There's a bit of confusion, but Lyra manages to explain the situation, how Fanon and I don't have any clubs yet. And how we are both against joining our previous ones, or just don't want to join any in particular. She listens, and Pomu's brows begin to furrow in thought. Then, as if a genius idea formed in her mind, she beams a wide smile. If that's such a problem, why not make a new club then? What? I mean, think about it. You two don't want to join any club that's established already, right? Why not just make a new one that fits whatever you want? Like a going home club, or maybe a wrestling club, or something like that. Well, you have a point, but I don't think... Ignoring the rest of my answer, Pomu grabs Fanana's hand and cups them with excitement. She stares at the shy girl with stars in her eyes, as if anticipating nothing but a positive answer. You agree too, right? The poor girl is so nervous her pupils are visibly shaking. In the end, she could only nod to the overwhelming presence in front of her. See, everybody's in agreement. A great solution to your... Wait just a second there. That makes Pomu freeze mid-sentence. We turn to Lyra, who just looks a little bit irritated, perhaps at the ridiculous conclusion this conversation has ended up with. As much as it'd be quite the grand solution, unfortunately you need 4 members to start up a brand new club. Even if Eris and Fanana try to form one, that's not enough members. An awkward silence fills the room. Of course it wouldn't work like that. Things are never that easy. In the end, we're still back at square one. Oh ho! In that case, how about I join too? The school does allow a member of multiple clubs after all. We got plenty of members in track who are in other clubs too, so it's A-okay. Wouldn't that affect your practice? No worries, I can still practice when popping in from time to time in the new club, right? It's not like you guys will actually be doing stuff. Will you? Fair enough. Okay, that's good and all, but you're still short by 1 member. Another wave of silence. It's unfortunate, but we can't do anything about it. 3 of us just isn't enough. Too bad. I didn't like the atmosphere our little group had. Wait. We do have enough. I turn towards the figure in front of us, the very one that started this whole conversation. What about you, Prez? She seems taken aback by the question. It's quite an interesting reaction. My intuition is right. We don't need to find anyone else. A second. Ah, to get comfortable in my chair. What? What do you mean? What was your club again, Prez? I told you to call me Alira. Alira, you're not answering the question. I don't. You don't? Suddenly in distress, she slowly falls to her knees. I don't have a club! Bingo. We have our fourth member. Wait, you don't have a club all this time? And you kept pestering us about it? The sudden loud outburst from the normally quiet Banana shocks everyone. Lyra could only cover her face in embarrassment. I'm sorry, I just wanted to know that the other clubless students would join, and make a decision after. Maybe even join one of the clubs you join in. I'm sorry! Banana could only pout at her. It seems almost like a betrayal. From the corner of her eyes, Pomu has her brows furrowed again in deep thought. Then, as if coming to a conclusion, she turns to Lyra and smiles. You know, for a class president, you're not very sociable. Huh. Ugh. Ooh, that's a critical hit. In fact, not only the class president, but everyone in this room here, aside from me, isn't exactly sociable either. You guys need to touch grass more often. Ugh. Oof. I didn't expect her words to leave have an area effect attack and hit me as well. In the end, we all got called out. How did I end up in this situation? After all the discussions, the four of us ended up deciding to form a new club. Although we came to that conclusion, we still have to iron out the details of how this new club will operate. We're heading home for the day. We decided to stop by the riverside. See, as I was saying... Oh, hey, there's Diamond City Lights. Nice Muzak version of it right now. So I was saying, since you guys don't really socialize enough, we could just make it a friendship club. Our goal can be helping students work on socialization and interaction with others, and of course, starting with our own very own members. What do you all think? I guess. Although I don't really like the idea of socializing. You'll get used to it. Right, Alira? I guess? You two are hopeless. She shakes her head in dismay. So what are we naming the club? The three of us start to ponder. As I let my gaze wander while I think of a name, I notice Fanana picking up a rock by the riverbed. She lifts a small, blue gem-like rock, reminiscent of a dark sapphire crystal, and holds it up to the sky. Lazulight. Ah, I see what you're doing there. She murmurs the word as if in a trance, perhaps enticed by the light the stone reflects from the sun. I forgot Lazulite is actually a type of stone. They just don't spell it like that in their name. How about Lazulite? The two turn towards me as if looking a bit confused. How did you get that name? I point towards Fanana, still examining the stone in her hand. Oh, I don't think that's actually Lazulite. Lazulite forms by a high-grade metamorphism of high silica quartz, rich rocks, and pegmatites. It usually forms in... We don't need to know all of that. But I do like the name. She pulls out her phone from her pocket and starts typing it down. After a couple of taps, she shows the screen over to us. On it was the word Lazulite. It's spelled Lazulite, light being L-I-T-E. Who cares? It's cuter this way. Trying to hide her embarrassment, Pomu heads to Fanana and starts talking to her about the club name. As we all gather around Fanana and the stone, a sort of warm feeling starts to surface, somewhere deep inside of me. It feels familiar, yet also fleeting. But that's what makes it feel special. Lazulite, huh? Sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty good, don't you think? Is it really not Lazulite? I thought it was because it's blue and... No, it probably isn't. But I guess to us, it is now. So, Lazulite was created. There we go. I think that's the end. Ah, okay. We get a trailer, or an opening, I guess. Do, 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 do. Opening's catchy. Uh-huh. That's a bit cheesy looking. Ooh, Pandora's Box of the guitar. Hey, that's nice. That's the only name I really recognize in the credits. Oh, I guess there's still more. Who knew things would proceed so smoothly after that? Before I knew it, there I was inside a newly assigned club room, sitting around with the girls I had just gotten to know. We became Lazulight, the friendship club, and our very first item on the agenda was deciding our very first club activity. Honestly, I'm still not sure how or even why the teachers approved such a whimsically made club. One of the great mysteries, I suppose. Alright, before we start the discussions, how about we all introduce ourselves? We only really know each other's first names, so I thought we could do a little introduction to get to know each other. She stands up and pulls our attention towards her. Alright, I'm start. Hello everyone, my name is Pomu Rainpuff. I know we just kind of made this club up on the spot, but I look forward to having fun and getting to know everyone. That is all. There's a brief silence and then an awkward applause. Thank you. Alright, Miss Class President, it's your turn. She points to the unsuspecting Alira. The poor girl is taken aback, not expecting she'd be the one to go on next. She stands up and starts to introduce herself, taking cues from Pomu's lead. Hey, I'm Alira Pandora, and seeing as how we'll be spending time together in club, hope you'll take good care of me. Also, please call me Alira. I'd prefer you call me that or class president or prez. Great! Pomu starts clapping, and the rest of us follow. Alira sits back down with a subtle smile, finally able to relax. Next is Finana! Our eyes turn towards her, and all she can do is shake her head. I'm almost scared it would fly off with how intensely she's shaking it. Go on, Finana, you can do it. The shy girl thinks for a while, then finally decides to stand. Her gaze is low, almost towards the ground. Her hands locked together as if trying to stop each other from shaking in nervousness. Then a hint of courage. My name is Finana Ryugu. I'm not very good at dealing with people, but I'll try to get along with everyone. Though not really planned, we let out a collective "oh," followed by an applause. Okay, you can sit down now, Finana. Now we go to the last but not least, your turn. Their gaze is all toward me. I'll admit it gives me jitters. I stand up and clear my throat, ready to bust out my non-existent social skills. So, my name is Eris, and I'm still not sure how I ended up here, but I guess thanks for the new club, and nice to meet you all. There's applause and a quiet, nice to meet you too, though I'm not entirely sure who said it. Alright, now that the introductions are out of the way, let's discuss our club's first activity. As you all know, we're a friendship club, so try to think of activities that are in line with interacting and socializing. We're going to need to do that kind of stuff to be able to get our hands on some budget after all. So, any ideas? There's silence. Hardly surprising, no one is into the idea of socializing and interacting. Well, no one except Pomu, I guess. No one? Alright, if you guys aren't suggesting anything, then I will. How about... Oh yes, when it comes to bonding, it's gotta be... camping! Finan and I groan together in perfect synchronization against our common enemy. Touching grass. Oh, come on, you two. Although camping sounds like a great idea, it'd be hard to plan as a first activity. There's a lot of stuff prepared, like waivers, tools, locations, and lots of other stuff. Plus, since we don't really have any budget, most of the things we need to buy would come from our pockets, which isn't exactly ideal. Pomu looks gloomier and gloomier as the lyric expands more and more. She must have really wanted to camp. There's a lot of back and forth suggestions and rejection of silly ideas, but in the end, we can't decide on anything. Instead, we opt to ask other clubs for help. After a couple of unsuccessful visits to a few other clubs, we soon find ourselves in the home economics collision where the cooking club resides. Oh, are we going to get a cameo for someone? Well, hello. Need something? The cooking club's president, Emma, comes up to greet us. Upon explain... Emma? What's that? Okay. Upon explaining her current predicament, she nods as if she has already found a solution to her problem. I see. Well, currently the cooking club has planned activity for tomorrow. Well, we will be cooking and serving food for charity by the school's entrance. You can participate in it if you want. We definitely appreciate the extra help. You'd also be interacting with a lot of people, so it's perfect, right? She's good. The proposition isn't bad at all. And we'll be able to accomplish our club's aims whilst getting help for her club. How clever. Well, what do you guys think? Seeing as we can't really decide on anything, it might be the best proposal. I'm okay with it, I guess. Plus side, we won't need to prepare too much since the cooking club will take care of the most of the preparations for us. We just need to help out. I'm fine with helping out. But interacting? It's gonna be good practice, Finana. We'll be there if you need to backup, so you won't have to worry. Oh. Okay. All aboard? Great. Oh, right, I need to ask. How confident are you in your cooking skills? There's an all too familiar silence. I turn towards the girls, but all their gaze are so far away. You gotta be kidding me. Do any of you know how to cook at least? The floor, the ceiling, the wall. They're looking everywhere except at me. Oh no. You can't be serious, right? Emma, unfortunately, I'm probably the only one. Well, good enough. They can just help out with the other things while I'll be counting on you to help with the cooking. Alright, see you guys tomorrow by the entrance. With that, Emma goes back to helping her clubmates prepare. I turn to the girls, all of them still having that faraway gaze. I snap my fingers as if to pull their consciousness back into this plane of existence. Really? None of you can cook? Hey, I can cook, okay? I'm just not confident in serving it to others. That's surprising. Even I have things I'm not confident in, okay? Okay. And you two? I turn to the other two who are still silent. I can bake, but that's about it. And you, Finana? I can. I can make spicy noodles. Oh. I don't think I can serve that. I can only shake my head in dismay. I hope we'll be okay tomorrow. Oh, that's a cute loading screen. Early morning the next day, the cooking club sets up stalls at the school entrance, giving out food to the people lining up. Surprising how many people have shown up. I've been helping them in the cooking process. It wasn't too difficult, but we still need to take breaks, of course. After a while, I passed my work off to the student taking over. Alright. Take a seat at a nearby empty bench. In front of me are crowds enjoying the meals and having fun. I don't think I've ever seen a sight like this. It feels very heartwarming, knowing that I've helped create such an atmosphere. I scan the crowd, looking for my clubmates. By the stalls, I find Finana serving food with a shy smile. Though still avoiding eye contact at times, she's doing her best to make people feel welcome. Despite all that, she's doing a pretty good job of interacting with people. That makes me smile a little. To the far left is Pomu assisting an elderly woman to the bench as she serves her a warm bowl of soup. I can see the genuine smiles on their face. It's almost as if they're family hanging out together. That makes me smile a little. Amongst the crowd surrounded by little kids is Lyra, playing with them, almost like an older sister with her younger siblings. She's wearing such a gentle expression as she speaks to them, and the kids' faces light up the sky. That makes me smile a little. They've only really known each other for a little while. I can see their kindness. I don't know why fate brought us together, but I at least wouldn't mind being with them a little more. Soon the activity ends and it's time for everyone to clean up. Emma approached me to thank us for help, saying it was a great success with our help. I probably wouldn't have written it that way, but that's me being nitpicky with grammar. I think it's because everyone did their job well and not just us. Oh, take the compliment. Okay. Anyway, I should go help out in cleaning up. I'll see you in a bit. I look around to see where I could probably help. Before I spot my clubmates doing different tasks. Hey! We have a choice! Alright, Pomu, Lyra, Fernana. I'm gonna go with Pomu. I catch up to Pomu trying to carry one of the large pots we used to make for cooking the soup. They seem quite heavy, so I grab one side of it and we carry it together. She seems to appreciate that. We're silent as we walk, not really because it's awkward, but because we're just a little tired. So how do you find the activity? Think it was good enough for our first one as a club? I think it was okay. You managed to help out. Oh, and Emma says thanks. Great! I had a lot of fun too. She has that brilliant smile on her face again. I saw you helping out an old lady. You seem to be hitting it off. Oh, you saw that? Well, I guess we did. She reminds me of my own grandma. Okay, maybe not. She was too kind. My grandma's insane. Never mind. We continue walking in silence. Excuse me. A bit of water down the wrong tube. A few weeks have passed since then. With how well things are going, went in helping out with the cooking club, the other clubs have been asking for help as well. Been going around fulfilling requests, extending helping hands, and before we knew it, Lazulight has somehow become the club that helps other clubs. One afternoon, Finana, Pomu, and I are hanging out in the club room like usual. When all of a sudden, the door bursts open. It's Lyra practically skipping in as if she'd won the lottery. What's up, Lyra? Without losing the smile on her face, she pulls out a piece of paper dangling it in front of our faces. Finana takes a close look and reads the contents aloud. Budget for Lazulight Friendship Club? Wow, is this real? That's right. We finally have a budget. In light of all the times the club has helped other clubs in their activities, the school has provided a minimal budget for their future activities. They submit a report and a breakdown of expenses. Ugh, reports. At least we have money now. You know what that means, Pomu? We can finally go camping? Woohoo! Loud cheers of Pomu and Lyra are followed by the exasperated groans of Miri and Finana. Oh, come on, you two. We talked about this before. Finana and I turn to each other and come to a silent agreement. Alright, I agree. It's just because I know how much you want this, Pomu. If there's one thing I've learned about Pomu, it's that it's hard to make her back down when it comes to these type of things, especially if it's something she really wanted. Might as well get it over with and done with, I say. Since it's with you guys, then I'm okay with it too. Just don't go overboard. Agreed. I think it'd be a nice change of pace from having to help more clubs. Soon afterward, the club room erupts with lots of discussions about camp and everything camp related. Everyone is excited in their own way, trying to think of a good place and what stuff to bring. Oh, I just realized I don't really have stuff for camping. I got you, girl! How about we go shopping for camping supplies this weekend? Then we can set our camping trip for next weekend. We still need to find a place and prepare, after all. I think a week is long enough. What do you guys think? I think it's perfect! Ooh, shopping with everyone. Can't wait. They're all raring to go with the idea. As for me, well, I thought if I kept quiet and don't move, no one would notice I'd be free. But alas, Pomu's gaze straight towards me. You are coming! Right? That's a nice transition effect. Yes, ma'am. Figures. I do kind of find it interesting this game does not even attempt to address the fact that, it's a Pomu, it's a fairy, a dragon, and a mermaid. Just no real attention described to the fact. The only thing the narrator seemed to have any kind of concern about was Pomusuke, just well, that I don't know if that's really a cat. But we aren't going to discuss the fact Pomu has wings, and so does Lyra for that matter. Anyway, it's the weekend. We all promised to meet at the school's gates, and it seemed like the best place for us to converge. I decided to come a little bit early, around 20 minutes before the designated time. That way I can chill for a while before the rest of us and we leave. As I entered the school, I noticed Lyra standing by the gates, quietly reading a book. She seems quite engrossed with it, seeing as how she still hasn't noticed me. That is a cute Lyra outfit. Even on the weekends, she reads, huh? As diligent as ever. It's just what you'd expect from the class president. Wait a minute. That book's title. Oh. Larry Potter? A fantasy novel. Huh, interesting. Hey, Lyra. I wave at her just as she lifts her gaze from her book. Oh, hey! She waves back playfully. Well, aren't you quite the early bird, Lyra? Oh, it's nothing like that. I just don't trust myself when it comes to women, so I just set my alarms earlier instead. I guess that's one way to work around it. Well, you do you, Lyra. She gives me a warm smile. You've finally gotten used to calling me Lyra, huh? Oh, yeah, I guess so. I'm glad. That makes me feel like we've gotten closer. Before I could ask what she means with that, a loud voice cuts me off with my train of thought. Lyra, Eris, hey you two! Well, if it... Saucy... Well, if it isn't Saucy Pomu. The second one to arrive is Pomu, who's just as energetic as ever. Conversation ensued as we waited for the last member to arrive. Yet even after waiting 20 minutes past the meetup time, Finana is nowhere to be found. Of course, Finana's late. Where is that girl? I hope she's okay. You don't think she got into an accident, do you? Please tell me that's not what happened. Calm down, Lyra. I'm sure she's fine. Do you think we should call her? It might be best that you do, just so we can get a situation update. Wait! I'm here! The high-pitched wail cuts me off before I could finish speaking. Across the road, Finana is shouting to us, her face beaten in sweat, her breathing rapid. She finally approaches us. She takes a deep breath. I'm so sorry I'm late! I never could have imagined she was capable of shouting so loudly. Seeing the reaction of the other two, they're probably thinking the same. Don't worry about it. More importantly, are you okay? Nothing bad happened to you, right? No, I'm fine. I just overslept. That's why I mean I couldn't sleep. Got too exciting for shopping, huh? I can understand. Yeah, let's go with that. Huh, smells fishy. Now that we're all here, it's time for us to proceed to the station. The place we're going to is quite a few stops away. Nonetheless, it's a quick trip. Stepping off and leaving the station, we find ourselves surrounded by buildings, most of which seem like they touch the sky with how tall they are. Streets are crawling with people moving out through their busy day. For Home and Alira, this probably seems like a normal day, stopping in a big city, but for Nana, I fear she may be feeling a bit overwhelmed. As if understanding the situation, Pomu and Lyra grab one of Finana's hands, reassuring her as they move towards the crowd. I follow right behind them, trying to hide the smile that is forming on my lips. Game stonks. I can't read anything else right now. We opt for the mall, as the diversity of shops will provide us with a greater range of choices. Looking around, we manage to find the store that sells camping supplies and other outdoor necessities. They have these little cute tents with interesting designs that can fit a single person, and the girls really like them, so we head into the shop to buy them. We also pick up some tools, food, and a fishing rod? So there's a whole bunch of other things we might need for the trip. In the end, we find and buy most of what we need from there, but seeing it's a bit early to go home, we decide to check on some other shops and stores. Which one should we go for? We're gonna get some boba. How about this place? How about that place? Bobalicious. Boba? Finana? Oh, boo. Oh. Finana said booba. Of course she did. Boba Finana. Boba! Stuff you find in bubble tea. Oh. Bobalicious is a nice, bubbly little tea shop. The atmosphere is very calming, and the staff are all very nice. What flavor did you get? Taro is one I'd actually get in real life. Nice. I got Thai tea. I just love that flavor. Raspberry for me. I got matcha. We sat down at a table with our drinks in hand, talking about a multitude of topics and ideas while laughing and goofing around. Overall, I'd say it was time well spent. Riding back home, we decided to stop by one last place. Let's go! This is Kamino's! When cheers and the music plays and Pomu starts to sing. Her voice is powerful, like the chorus of 100 fairies singing the same tune. Somehow feel like she's holding back. Okay, yeah, I get that. I get this callback to the God knows. The roar of the beat finally comes to an end, and Pomu gives us a bow. All right, Alira, you're next. With a little reluctance, Alira picks up a microphone as the sound of laughing waves fills the room. There's a pause, and from her lips comes a giggle. Spirit Girl by Tokimo P. What's that? Oh, okay. What's that one? And I don't recognize what that one's actually supposed to be. The song sounds relaxing, but also melancholic. Lyra's soft and sweet voice has a tremble in it, perhaps from nervous or a lack of confidence. But the way she sings feels like a lullaby luring you in the dreams you've so desperately sought for. Before I realize it, the sounds of bells are ringing and the song has ended. 'And Lyra passes the microphone to Finana and gives her a wink. All yours, Finana. Though Finana has gotten used to hanging around with us, I was still expecting her to be at least a little nervous, especially since it's karaoke. Yet there she is, standing quite confident as she holds the microphone up. Then a most unexpected song comes on. Okay, that one I know. Fishny Spears, Noxic. The beat comes down, and it is intense, and also seductive. It feels so out of left field, but also somehow also kind of fitting. Oh, are we in for a ride? I couldn't help but applaud as the amazing performance came to an end. Never have I imagined that Finana would be singing such a song, but she did, and it was good. Your turn. She smiles as she hands me the microphone. Now, which song to sing? Jane, how you doing? Just hanging out with Lazulight. Let's see. Always Gonna Give You Up by Rock Ridley. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know which song that is. Take You On by Uhu. Like an Idiot by Ryu Kazuma. I don't know if I recognize the middle one. I'll take this one. Alright, the jolly beats come up and I am jumping on my toes. It's been pretty good so far. I've had spent like an hour with it so far. The writing seems pretty good. The sprite designs are pretty cute. They've had a decent number of callbacks. Uh, you're not you haven't seen him, and I haven't seen him for a while. But the only other live cameo is Oliver got to be the teacher, of course. Anywho, I actually have no clue how long this demo goes. Everything seems to distort in a black and white painting as I interact with it. The lines making myself feel darker and bolder as the song went on, and I could feel the hype filling up my soul. I sing with such power that I feel like I could take on the world. That I could take on me. Yeah, thanks game, I know. It's a blast, and the hype is perfect. As the day nears its end, we find ourselves smiling as we stop at the street where we'd all have to go our separate ways back home. The day has been so fun and full of memories that it feels a little hard to let go. After a little reminder of the things we still need to do for the camping trip, we all head home with smiles on our faces and new memories to remember. I also got this cute little loading sequence. As the weekdays come, the monotonous feeling of going to school starts to sink in. Classes pass by like a blur. The lessons, the notes, the writing of chalk on the board, they all melt to the back of my subconscious as I dwell in excitement for the trip that had come at the end of the week. I thought we were actually going to get an Oliver appearance right there. Of course, there are still club activities after school. I'm not sure when it started, but the little time I spent with these girls has become the highlight of my days. Always looking forward to seeing them. Always wondering what silly things we'd do next. Always wanting to... You okay? The question catches me off guard. Yeah, I'm fine. It's just thinking about stuff. Do I have a frown on my face when I'm deep in thought? Maybe. Alira's always been sensitive to those things. What's up? Something going on here? Even Pomu joins in. If she ever hears someone is down in spirits, she'd always find a way to cheer them up. That's how she is. If you need any help with anything, I'll do my best. Hearing the shy Finana cheer me on, I can't help but smile. The way she gives effort even at the smallest of things is something I always liked about her. Speaking of all this time with the girls, I started to learn more about them, their likes and dislikes, their humor, their kindness. But could I say the same for me? Thanks for worrying, but really, I'm fine. The gentle smiles they all hold cast a ray of light into the shadow of my doubts. Maybe there isn't anything to worry about in the first place. Wouldn't that be great? Alright. The weekend comes and we yet again meet in front of the school's entrance. Somehow the spot becomes the usual meeting place for us. Lyra is yet again first arrived quietly reading another book as she stands by the gate. We chat for a bit until Poe arrives, this time together with Finana. Probably picked her up so she isn't late again. Then we all make our way towards the station. We arrive at the camping spot, a lush area beside the snaking river. The area feels fresh and cool, and the weather isn't too hot. Suffice to say, it's a pretty good place to camp in. Though we have planned some activities, we all just end up playing around in the river. Before we realize it, it's already time for lunch. This background might be a little rough, but hey, I get the point. Alright, everyone, I'll be assigning your tasks to prepare for lunch. Eris, you'll be in charge of cooking. Alright. Pomu. Oops. Didn't want to do that. You're the assistant chef. Roger that. Finana, you're with me. We'll gather firewood and set up the table. Okay. Lazulight, to battle stations. We each head to our own work. I end up doing most of the cooking, but Pomo helps up with stuff like cutting and washing. Soon everything is set up and the feast is ready. We were having a good old curry with rice as well as some barbecue on the side, a hearty meal for our would-be adventurers for the day. Fortunately, everybody seems to like the food that I made. Laughs and chuckles fill the air as we eat and enjoy our lunch until we finish our plates empty. After cleaning up, we're free to do whatever we want. Now then, I wonder what I should do to pass the time. Let's see. Up. Alright, let's save. So we got stone skipping with Pomu, fishing with Alira, and wading in the water with Finana. Let's try fishing. A little bit further upstream, I start setting up my seat. Seeing that fishing pole back when we went shopping got me curious about fishing. So I'm doing some research and even bought some basic gear. With the bait hooked, I swung the pole towards the river and the line flies off. I stick the pole between a rock and the leg of my seat and wait for the catch. This activity requires patience, or so I've read. Waiting for the right moment, the right time when that fish snags onto the hook. And then, bam! You pull at it with nothing but your strength and sheer willpower. It's you versus the fish, fighting for its life. Nothing sounds more epic than that. Minutes later, I find myself consumed by boredom. Never have I expected for an activity to require this much patience. Bored out of my mind, I start to pick up pebbles and toss them in the water for no particular reason, other than it seems more amusing than waiting for a fish to bite. Where is Alira? I thought Alira was supposed to be in this scene. But even that doesn't last long. Just as I'm about to give up and start packing my things, a familiar voice calls out to me. Hey there, what are you up to? Achieving the epitome of pain and suffering. What? Sorry, it's nothing. I'm actually trying to fish right now. Keyword is trying. Oh. Mind if I join you then? Sure, go ahead. Here, you can take my chair. No, it's alright. You need that more than I do since, fishing. I'll just sit over here on this rock. That way I can also dip my feet in the water. Alright then. We end up engaging in an idle chatter as we sit around doing nothing. I find it's much more enjoyable than fishing that for a good minute I forgot about the pole in my hand. And just in those few moments, when I loosen my grip, something begins to pull at the line. Surprised and shocked, I freak out as the pole begins to bend. Thankfully, I stuck it in a pretty tight place, otherwise it would have gone flying by now. Realizing what is happening, I jump up and grab the pole and kick my seat, pulling like my life depended on it. I'm trying to reel it in, but the fish has such impressive strength that I could barely keep it planted in the ground. Let's see. Holy, are you okay? Do you need help? Yes. Yes, I do. Alira runs toward me and grabs a part of the pole. Together we keep pulling and reeling, and pulling without rest, but the prey is fighting for its dear life. The next split second is a blur. We pull as hard as we can, and in one last ditch effort, I jump back, putting all my weight into it. The feeling of tension in my hands grows weaker, and before I know it, I'm on the ground staring up at the sky. Damn. Alira, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. She managed to land on my arm. Thankfully, that means I managed to cushion her fall at least. What about you? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine too. Just a little tired. Confirming we are both okay, she starts to pout. We are never doing that again. I 100% agree with you. So what happened? Did we manage to catch it? Well, I prop up the pole and there it is. Dangling on the end of the line, hook inside my mouth, is the glorious gray scale known as tilapia, aka St. Peter's fish. Eek! The sudden scream catches me by surprise. It looks so gross! Ugh! Alira, calm down, it's a fish. I move it closer to her and she starts freaking out even more. Get away, get away, get away! Ah! Not sure why she's freaking out so much, but I know that the scream is a scream of pure terror. Quickly grab the cooler box and dump the fish in, closing the lid as fast as I can. Seems like a gremlin right now. There we go. No more fish. It's okay now, Alira. She's crouching down a few feet away, her hands covering her eyes as she trembles. I lean over and place my hand on her back. Alira, are you okay? She nods quietly. I've already put the fish away. Okay. She finally removes her hands from her face and looks up at me. Her eyes are teary and her mouth trembles. Something about that fish must have really shaken her up. I held out my hand to her, which she took as I pulled her up. I'm sorry about that. No, I should be the one apologizing. I shouldn't have pushed it closer to you. So, are you okay now? Yeah, I'll be fine. I just need some time to settle my nerves. I am curious, very curious about why she freaked out so much, but I realize it would be rude to ask. We just sit back down, somewhere a bit further away from the river. I let her have the chair and give her a bottle of water to help her calm down. The truth is, I'm actually scared of fish. Her sudden confession is unexpected. So, like, all the fish? Kinda. I just can't stand looking at them. I feel like I'd pass out. I see. Wait, if you're so scared of fish, why would you join me when I'm fishing? I thought you'd just be catching the smaller kinds of fish. Those I can stand at least. I'm still scared of them, but they're a lot better than what you caught. Oh, Alira. Well, I'm just glad you're fine now. I almost had a heart attack when you started freaking out and screaming in terror. Oops. Sorry. I let out a sigh. Now, if you know it's an activity that involves something you're scared of, don't join in, okay? Okay. Alright then, you should head back to the others. You can rest some more in the tent. What about the fish? We're gonna grill it for dinner. You're joking, right? Right? The murderous look in her eyes sends chills down my spine. Ha, yeah, it's just a joke. She lets out a sigh of relief. Okay then, that's good. Guess we're not having grilled fish for dinner. Time passes and it's soon night. Right after dinner, we set up a small campfire and toast some s'mores for flames. Everyone is quiet. There's only the crackling of fire and the crickets chirping in the distance. Though no one can make any attempts to speak, the silence isn't awkward or discomforting. It's relaxing, calming, and a release from the day's exhaustive activities. But the silence also stirs emotions that are quiet in the quiet of the night. I really like campfires.
though she speaks in a low voice, it cuts through the silence much to our surprise. You get to sit around them and feel warm. You can even roast s'mores like this, and you can talk about random stuff with others. The reason why I really want to do camping as our first activity is because I feel really like getting to know people by the warmth of the fire. This is exactly what I had in mind when I thought of it. All of us gathered here together as we talk and get to know each other more. In the shadows of the fire, we all let out a small smile. I I really love cosplay. Vanana's sudden confession catches us off guard. Though it's a bit sudden, it feels like a response to Pomu's words, so what she likes when we learn more about her. Guess we all just didn't expect it to start from her. Noticing her reaction, she turns away flustered, but Pomu urges her on. She starts describing how she likes both fashion and anime, and that led to her loving cosplay, and even cosplaying some of her favorite characters before. This sparks the rest of the conversation. Soon they all are sharing their likes and dislikes, even stories about how they all came to be. Lyra goes on to talk about her love of the Larry Potter books, and Pomu shares stories of dealing with her troublesome cat, Homusuke. As the talk dies down, they turn towards me with eager eyes. Well, it's your turn, right? I always feel it. That although I know so much about these girls, they barely know anything about me. I'm not really trying to avoid telling them, but I can't deny that I did not actively pursue it either. Perhaps it's time to do so. I don't really have anything like or dislike in particular, so I guess I talk about stuff that I used to do. That's okay, we're all ears. Back when I was a lot younger, I used to play the violin. Violin? Yeah, but I kind of stopped playing after a couple of years, though. I got into track and field, and I really liked it there, so I stayed for a long while. I used to be part of our school's pole vaulting team, you know. I was even winning medals and all that. Oh, so that's why I feel like I saw you before we first met. I used to see you on the field during club hours. I guess. Fortunately, I got into an accident last year. Shattered my elbow as it hit the ground. Small mistake in my jump cost me everything. I was hospitalized, had some minor injuries as well that kept me in there for a long while. Ever since then, I haven't been able to go back. Are you okay now? Okay, physically, I am, I guess. Sometimes I get those random bouts of pain from my arm. Sometimes it leads to weird panic attacks, and never mind. They were all silent with serious looks on their faces. It's probably hard for them to react to such a heavy story. I don't usually talk about these things with others. Being at that campfire with those girls made me open more than I usually would. It almost feels like fairy magic had taken over me and set my words free. I think that's really brave of you. Alira suddenly speaks up in a soft and comforting voice. I don't know how I would have felt if I had been in your situation. But seeing as here you are now, living your life rather than wallowing in sorrow, I think that's really strong of you. And I think you're doing great. I never expected that Alira would come for me, but I also feel like no one could have done such a better thing than her. The kindness of her words feels like a peaceful warmth of the sun as it flows over me and washes away my doubts. I also think you're doing an amazing job. Vinas says those words with surprising vigor. Even when you have such troubles, you still go out of your way to be kind to someone like me. I really enjoy being together with you and everyone in Lazulight. I love spending time together with all of you. So I'll do my best to try and talk more and share more, so you can all share your problems with me as well. Okay? Fernanda seems to look tired after that, as if it took all her strength just to get that out clearly to everybody. Though it might seem insignificant to other people. Ugh. A lot of reading. Though it might seem insignificant to other people. To me, the courage she displayed right then is like a gentle breeze that softly urges me onward. I can't help but smile at these wonderful people that I have met. As the night grows older, the flames of the campfire start to die down, and soon it's time for us to sleep. I'm actually feeling a bit tired right now, so I think I'm going to close it right here. I am enjoying the demo. I don't know if I'm going to come back to it or wait until like the full version releases in June. But I think this is a good stopping point. So, I hope everyone who came enjoyed the stream. Next week I'll probably get back to Yeast. And, oh, thanks, Jane. Yeah, I do like doing these readings, but, it is a lot. This is the first time in a while I've done a visual novel, so there is a lot of reading, a lot of doing character voices. It's fun though. I hope I did a good job with trying to imitate them. Yeah. All right. So curious. See, is there anyone still on? Let's see. No one I really know right now. So, okay, I guess I'm not going to do a raid. Alright, so I think I'm just going to sign off. So, bye, Jane. Bye, everyone in the audience. Hopefully, if you enjoyed, come see me again. Alright, so let's go to end screen. Alright, thank you for coming. See you all next week. Bye bye.